Hey everybody, welcome back for day 2. I'm glad that you are back with me. How are you feeling from yesterday? We introduced 6 body weight movements and we're gonna add on some complexity today. We're gonna review those 6 movements first and then I'm gonna give you an option to get it a little more challenging. So just as a refresher, these 6 movements are movements that we do in everyday life. We might not label them as that or we might not call them that, but those are ways that our body moves from our joint angles and the biomechanics of our body. We started with a body weight squat, so we're gonna start with that again today. Make sure you've got some space around you and your floor is even. You can have shoes or no shoes, totally up to you, whatever you're comfortable with, but I do want you in a safe space. My feet are pointed forward. My hips are pushed back, my chest is open, my head is tall. I am dropping low as if I were gonna sit down on the couch or on my ottoman or my piano bench maybe. Easy does it for a squat here. We're just gonna do 10 of them. Things you might notice. Your knees might wanna go like this, or you might feel tipping forward. I really want you to think about shifting the body weight so that half of the weight goes back and half of the weight goes forward at the same time. Yes, Miss Myers, that's a lot of homework. 3 more. 2 and 1. Once you feel confident with that basic squat and you feel like you have that move down, here's options to make your squat a little more complex. I'm gonna invite you to turn your toes out. This is called a plie squat or a sumo squat. The idea is that your legs will track the same way as your toes, but you're gonna feel a little more work in those inner thighs. Keep the chest nice and tall. Same basic movement pattern, however you might notice I'm a little more off balance. Down and up we go. So right away, I'm feeling a difference in the inner thighs. They're taking up a little more of the work and helping with the stability. Are you breathing? Good, keep coming. If you don't like this, you know what? Come on back to the squat. There we go. Let's try 8 more here. When you push up, I really want you to think about pushing those knees back to the center so you can keep that center of gravity. Good, 3 more. I knew you could do it. 2 more. Awesome, last one. Good. Remember, you can always press pause on this video at any time if you're needing to take a bathroom break or a water break, then come on back and join us for our next move. Second move here is a lunge. Yesterday, we did a typical reverse lunge where 1 leg at a time stepped behind us. Let's practice that again so we have it refreshed in our mind. Hips are nice and tall. That front leg is your anchor. So I think about 85% of my body weight feels like it's in that front leg. It's your choice how low you want to go. Some of that might be dictated by your joint angles and your range of motion. What I want you to do is keep your chest up tall. So if you feel like you are tipping forward when you lunge, really think about the crown of that head reaching to the ceiling. Very good, let's do 4 more. And if you're wobbly, that's okay. That's your body saying to you, okay, I'm trying to get this figured out. Good, 2 more. Great work. We're gonna add on now. With those lunges, we're gonna take this into a walking lunge. Check your space, see what you've got for some room. I'm gonna go this way, but you can certainly go wherever you want to. You're gonna join me with planting the foot forward, sinking in, standing tall. Plant, sink, stand tall. Good, you continue around your space. Again, you might feel wobbly. You might say, ooh, my knee. That's all part of the practice. That's all part of gaining confidence with these functional movements. Good, let's do another 10 here. You've got them. Step it forward, stand tall. Step it forward, stand tall. Nice work, keep them coming. Chest stays nice and tall. Remember to breathe. Good, 4 more here. 3, 2, and 1. If that was too much for you today, another option is keeping yourself stationary, maybe having a hand on the back of the couch or the side of the wall, stepping forward, feeling how that feels, and then sending yourself back. So that's another practice option as well. Move number 3 was our deadlift. This is a hip hinge. So one of the great things that our body does for us is changes where the center of gravity is to allow us to be efficient with our hinging movements. Day 1, I had you stand, toes forward, chest open. You're gonna tip forward like you're looking over the Grand Canyon, right? And then stand back up. Some things to be aware of. If you feel like the shoulders roll or you feel like you're bending from your back, Lengthen that back out so that the work really happens from the back side of the core. Standing up tall. If it feels okay, fingertips can certainly be on the thighs. Maybe they slide down to the kneecaps. Maybe your balance isn't quite there yet and you want those hands out to the sides or touching something that's next to you. That works too. This is you gaining confidence with your movements. Let's do 4 more. Good. I have my eyes looking about 3 feet in front of me. That way that helps me keep my neck and spine in alignment. Last one here, team. Awesome. Usually we don't walk around in our daily activities deciding to just hinge willy-nilly, right? There might be a purpose for it. So maybe you have your crock pot in the bottom of your kitchen. Well, what's gonna be a safe way to get it? A bit of a crouching deadlift. Okay, so instead of our feet side by side, I want you to offset your load. Think about half your weight in this leg, half your weight in this leg. How can I tip forward, pick it up? Very good, let's try again. You can alternate legs if you want. I picked my dominant leg. Chances are most of you did too. Just comes naturally. I'm still hinging, right? I'm not letting my back cave in. I'm tipping from the hips, but now my legs are in a little bit more, not precarious, but a little less balanced. Let's try 3 more this side. Awesome work. Squeezing as you stand up, really activating those strong muscles in the posterior side of the body. Last one. Come on back to center, let's reset. Get yourself in an offset position. Both heels might be on the ground, your back heel might be up. Maybe you're picking up that bag of groceries or your grandchild. Down we come, we stand tall. Good. Take notice, does this side feel a little different? Maybe it feels easier or smoother. And that could be because your body's getting used to the movement, or it could be because you're using the dominant side. Good, 6 more here. And again, if you don't like this, you can always come back to both feet together. This is just an option for progression. Looking great, team. 2 more. Wonderful. All right, those legs have had a lot of work. Let's transition a little bit into some upper body, but also using the legs for balance with us. So we had a carry day 1. I encouraged you to get some dumbbells or soup cans or water bottles. When we carry things, our body's constantly in motion. We don't notice it. We don't have to tell our body, right foot, left foot, right foot. Our body just does that for us. However, when we have a load at different spots in our body, then our body has to kind of negotiate. So instead of having those hands at the hips, I'm gonna invite you to have them at your chest. So maybe you're carrying something and you don't want it to break, and you have to have it in front of you so you can see it. How is that gonna look different? So you have more room than me in your space, hopefully, but go ahead and carry, but pay attention to how you carry that weight right at your chest. Maybe you walk forward, maybe you walk sideways, maybe you walk to the corners. How does that feel different when the external weight is now resting on your chest instead of at your hands? Go ahead and walk a circle of your space if you want to. If you can take a forward and backward in your space, that works too. But how does that feel to have weight where we're not used to carrying weight? How does our body have to negotiate? Good, let's go another 10 seconds. Take another lap around your space. And if that gets heavy, arms can always come back down here, but I want you to be tall and confident as you walk forward or backward with that load. Anytime we have something in our hands, that takes away a little bit of our balance because those hands are now busy with something else. So that's where our movement confidence comes in. 3, 2, 1. Nice work, team. Again, remember, you can pause the video at any time if you're needing to take a break, catch your breath. We're gonna move on to move number 5, which was a push-up. Yesterday, I invited you to maybe try it on the wall or try it on the top of a bench or a coffee table, something that's not going to move, or down on the floor. An option that I'm going to introduce to you today for a little more complexity would be called a hands-up push-up. Most of the time we start and we are in a strong, confident plank position. I want you to start on the floor. Feels a little different, right? I want you to push up from the floor, maybe to your knees or maybe to your toes. When we push from ground zero, so to speak, we're really pushing in to that anchor. And we have to work a little differently because we have no momentum to help us. So I am started from a complete stop all the way up, or all the way up to my knees. If you're doing this on the wall or on your table, you can do that too. You can start in the down position, come on up. Let's get 10 more, team. I believe in you. Notice how that feels different. Here's an option on your knees. Push all the way up. You're getting a full range of motion through the chest and triceps. Pull that belly button in. Good, keep smiling. I don't know about you, but this feels familiar to me. After I finished with the run and I come and stretch, and I like to lay on my rug in the living room, and I like to lay like this, but then I'm like, oh, I gotta get up somehow. Here's how I get myself up. Two more. Woo, very good. Roll through those wrists if you need to. We'll be transitioning to our sixth and final movement. That was a pulling movement. And again, remember that most of us don't have space in our house to have a pull-up bar or large gym equipment, but we can use our body weight or sometimes just some external weights to be able to replicate some of those pulling movements. So we're down on our back. We started with both hands overhead, and I asked you to let the fingers float behind you and then really think about pulling that body weight of your arms back up. So even though you don't have anything else you're hanging on to, you're still working against gravity to pull with those large back muscles. This time I'm gonna invite you to bring your legs up, arms and one leg. If that feels okay, maybe you say, Jen, I just need to stick with the arms. That works too. Exhale. I'm thinking about pulling my belly button down to the floor. When we add on a leg extension, that creates a longer lever. I mentioned that our bodies are a biomechanical mystery, not mystery, miracle, I guess, really. We have all the levers we need to be able to move in the different planes of motion. But the challenge is figuring out how to do it, right? 4 more here, team. Well, I'm glad you're taking steps here to improve your movement confidence. 2 more. Last one. You can stay right there or gently roll yourself up and give yourself a little pat on the back. You've made it through day 2. When I see you tomorrow, we'll be adding another layer of complexity to these 6 movements. Good job, everybody.